The national attention has been drawn to a huge show of Hindu unity and solidarity in Mandya in Karnataka, and the significance of this show of unity is that this happens after the attack on the Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations and the Ganesh idol by Hindu devotees on the day of the immersion a few days back. Ladies and gentlemen, we all saw what had happened. There had been terrible attacks on September 7th as the Ganesh immersion procession was going on. And this has become such a often repeated visual that across India, Hindus have begun to ask, how long will we remain subjects of attack, and why are Hindu festivities and celebrations being targeted by certain groups, especially Muslim groups? Ladies and gentlemen, in response today, I'd like to show you visuals of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who turned up in Mandya today. Today's visuals, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an unprecedented show of unity, ladies and gentlemen, by Hindu groups in Mandya. The tens of thousands of Hindus who gathered in Mandya today, the show of strength of the Hindus in Mandya, happens in the aftermath of the Dharmasthala hoax, where there were attempts to target a Hindu religious center, and also following the violence that happened during the Ganesh Visarjan procession. In a way, the patience of Hindus across Karnataka and across India has been tested. Ladies and gentlemen, of late, there have been repeated attacks on Hindu processions and Hindu festivities. I've told you about what happened in Mandya on the 7th of September. We saw the Gudi Padwa procession, which was targeted in Mumbai on the 30th of March this year. On the 25th of March in Hazaribagh in Jharkhand, there was stone pelting at the Mangla procession as it crossed the Jama Masjid Chowk. Each year, these Hindu processions are taken out ahead of Ram Navami. This time, there was stone pelting during that procession. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw what happened in Park Circus in Kolkata, where Hindu devotees who were participating in a Ram Navami procession were attacked and their vehicles were vandalized. I'm not making all of these things up. The reality is, all the people who said minorities are in danger in India are not speaking when Hindus are being targeted most violently across India. And we also remember how a group of people peacefully celebrating the Indian victory at the ICC Champions Trophy, waving the tricolour, were attacked when they passed the Jama Masjid area in Mao. We heard the visuals, we heard the abuse. Today's unity rally that has happened in Mandya, in that sense, is a big message. It shows that Hindus are no longer willing to be silent victims of repeated and targeted attacks on their faith, festivities, and identity. It shows that no matter how many Hindu processions are attacked, the unity of Sanatan Dharma cannot be crushed. And it shows that every attack has only one outcome: a stronger, louder, and unbreakable Hindu resolve. Ladies and gentlemen, the reality is this. We can discuss this whichever way you want. There are people who are scared of Hindu unity. We remember what Mamta Banerjee had said. She called the Mahakumbh a Mrityu Kumbh. She called the Mahakumbh a Mrityu Kumbh, and she will never be forgiven for it. We remember what Akhilesh Yadav said. He said there is no such thing as a Mahakumbh. The name was coined so the government could earn some money. We remember what Lalu Prasad said. He said the Kumbh is useless. We remember what Mallikarjun Kharge said. Taking a dip in the holy Ganga does not eradicate poverty. And every time we are told, be patient, be patient. You are Hindus. You must be patient. You will be abused. You will be slapped. You must show the other cheek. Ladies and gentlemen, we remember what Mamta Banerjee said. If we get united, they will lose their chair. We remember what Asaduddin Owaisi has said. Muslims in UP must strengthen their leadership. When Farooq Abdullah said Muslims must unite for survival, he was talking about political unity. And yet, if anyone talks about Hindu unity, it is seen to be a threat for all. Ladies and gentlemen, Lalu Prasad said there must be full and complete reservation for the Muslim community. And yet, when there are such violent and repeated pattern of attacks on the Hindu community, all these leaders will look the other way. Which is why I will end once again by showing you the visuals of the unity that the Hindu community has shown in Mandya in Karnataka. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not one moment. I believe this is a revival of a calm, confident, and assertive Hindu pride, which can never be intimidated by violence or threats.